And the piece that I want to touch into today that I think is really uplifting for me is this moment. I want to suggest that perhaps there is some kind of calm that's within us all the time, and that actually that is our soul. That's our neshama. That it is the part of us that is connected to all other things. It is the divine, and we have part of it within us at all times. So when we're paying attention, that part of us that is paying attention is also the part of us that's calm all the time. So what we're doing really in this practice is we're training ourselves to come back to when we get distracted with our minds or with our whatever, however we're going to be distracted, mostly with our minds, sometimes in our bodies. But whenever we're distracted, our job is just to bring our attention back to the part of us that is able to pay attention, which is our soul, which is the calm. So we're just bringing ourselves back to calm over and over with our attention. And if we're able to rest in calm and keep our attention there for longer, that's a good thing. But really, the most critical piece is that we notice when we get lost, and then we're able to bring ourselves back. We notice again, we get lost, and then we bring ourselves back to that calm. And by doing that over and over, we're going to build a muscle memory and a neural network that knows how to return ourselves to notice when we're gone, we're no longer calm, we're no longer present, and teaches us that when we notice that, just go right back. We can just go right back. But that's a practice. It's a practice. And there's a lot more depth there. We'll start with this here because we've got to start somewhere. So today's practice we'll do is a breath practice. This whole week we're going to focus on the breath because the breath helps us stay attentive and it keeps us, like I said before, sort of gets us into the practice that allows us to pay attention enough to then start to work with what's going on inside and have the capability to be present. It also calms us down. So it's doing twofold. It's giving us some sweet, but it's also building a muscle. So let's do it. I'm going to ring a bell. If you're not already comfortably seated or laying down, however you want to practice is okay. I do ask this is a wakeful practice. So if you need to sleep because you're very tired and that's what you need, that's totally okay. This practice is not meant for you to be sleeping through. But if you need to sleep, you know what? These are stressful times. So if you need to sleep, you need to sleep. That's an honoring of your body to give yourself what you need. So if this is just a restful time for you, that's okay too. But if you can be awake, be awake. Be awake and aware and alert as much as possible. Whenever I ring the bell, our only job is to just listen. That's all is our job, is just to listen. So in the beginning of our sessions, I'm going to ring a bell. At the end of our sessions, I'm going to ring a bell. We're going to practice for the next 15 minutes together, but I'm going to be with you. I'm holding your hand. You're not going alone. And you'll be alone for some stretches of time where you can rescue yourself and start to build the capacity for doing that on your own. On your own. It's important that you learn to do that on your own. So I'm going to ring the bell. If you're comfortable, get yourself comfortable. Sit regally. Sit like you've got the part of you inside that pays attention is actually divine. It's actually much bigger than you. Opening up your attention to listen far and wide. Maybe you can hear the street cars outside or the wind blowing or birds chirping. And listening now for the sounds inside the space you're in, closer to you. Maybe you can hear your own body breathing. I'm sure you can hear me. Bringing your attention to your body now. Feeling yourself supported, being held up by the earth, by the chair, by the ground you're sitting on. Knowing that you actually don't need to put so much effort into just sitting as you are. And if there's any part of you that feels like it's tighter than it maybe needs to be right now, see if you can just invite it to, with a little breath, give it a breath and invite it to loosen its grip. Or maybe reassure it that it doesn't need to be tight right now. You're being held up. Start up at your neck, your shoulders. You should probably have started in your face. Maybe your face needs to release something. Your arms, your hands, your chest, and your back, your core, your belly, your low back, your hips. Anything that needs releasing, let it go into your quads, your hamstrings. Your calves, your shins, your ankles, your feet, your toes. Now bringing your attention to your breath. You don't need to do it in any special way. I don't care if it's your nose or your mouth. And we're not changing our breath significantly. We're just noticing how it is. It will slow down, it will deepen as a result of being watched. Being noticed. Noticing that your body is kind of like a big balloon, expanding with every inhale, contracting with the exhales. And when eventually, inevitably, our attention is pulled away by something we're going to have to do later, or a phone call we're remembering we need to make, or something that happened earlier, we notice that we're no longer paying attention to our breath. We're no longer residing with that calm, divine that's right within us. And so we return our attention back to the breath, back to that part of us that pays attention to the breath. Noticing the whole way that our body kind of bobs up and down, it's moving, it's being breathed. Seeing if we can notice the breath all the way through every point of the inhale, all the way to the exhale. Now, all the way through that exhale, really paying close attention. How's my whole body moving? Very subtly. See if you notice any difference in your breath as it is now versus how you started, how you began the practice. Maybe it's deeper, maybe it's slower, maybe it's fuller. Returning our attention if it's wandered away, allowing ourselves to settle into that place of calm that is our birthright. It's pure. We can't exist without it. Noticing over and over how the breath is. Our minds wander away. It's natural. We notice it and we bring ourselves back. Back to the soul, back to the calm. Back to attention on our breath. See if you can spend this last minute just really allowing yourself to settle in that place of calm, connecting with your divine, the pure, peaceful part of you. It's always there. Widening out your sense of hearing all the way back out to the street again. Taking a few more of those straw breaths. Seeing if you can connect your body to that sense of calm. Taking another straw breath, deep breath, and slow exhale as if through a straw. And when you're ready, wiggling your fingers and toes, maybe shimmying your shoulders a little bit, back and forth, your head back and forth, up and down, side to side. And putting a little smile on your face. You don't have to be happy, just put a smile on your face. And I look forward to seeing y'all tomorrow at what time? Did we say 1 tomorrow? I think tomorrow's at 1 p.m. Tomorrow is at 1 p.m. Yeah. So I'll see y'all tomorrow at 1 p.m. If you loved it, come back. If you really love it, recommend it to a friend. This is a gift you can give somebody who really needs it, who really, really needs it right now. This is an amazing time to practice. Whether you have a practice or not, these are the tools that can help us to just come back and live with a robust, peaceful outcome, right? With it from within us, and spreading that out to everybody we interact with. both within our space and outside of our space. So may the work that we've done actually help us bring more peace into our own hearts and souls and bodies and minds, and also help us to reverberate that out into the world, to the people we interact with, to Houston, to Texas, to the United States, to this continent, and across the world.